already deep into the pistol round, so we're about to get things started here. I know the panel already touched a lot on
Standing ahead.
how Boom has been making a lot of roster.
Found them.
And, you know, they have made. Begin the pistol round. Boom starting strong.
I have this fight.
Three already down for the side of FENNEL. Now, 2 players left standing. I think they can get the spike off indeed, but the retake is definitely.
Last player standing.
CLZ getting caught looking the wrong way completely now to 1.
Well, it's all on the Daryl, and at this point, what can he really do? Well, we're talking about some news here, some, I guess, words that we gotta get out, and it seems like our panel still probably reads those newspapers, probably orders them every morning, but for the most part, old news here now turned anew. Boom taking this opening round, and they get the pistol. Now, Ascent, we did see, and we did talk about the, well, it was a map that was picked here by FENNEL, but if you actually look at the stats, both of these teams are 65% apiece officially here on Ascent, and so this could really go either way. For the meantime, though, it is swinging in the way of Boom.
Yeah, and you know, I really think this is one of those games where everything is up in the air. Like BOOMESPORTS, they've got a lot of roster changes. You know, FENNEL, Paperthin mentioned this earlier, like they might not even have been prepared to come here, especially after, you know, having Zeta dropped out at the very last minute. And it's going to be pretty much I think a guessing game for me as to who really goes on ahead here. But I do think Boom does have the, I think, upper hand. I mean, they have stayed as a 4-man roster for quite a while. The only player that they did replace is actually NC Slasher, and stepping in is Frostmine. So it's looking pretty good for them as they take 3 kills aggressively here towards A main, making that 4. And this should be a clean anti-eco round. If CLZ can even get one, no,
very, very quiet.
Absolutely not. And he's going to be denied that, and it's going to be a flawless round here for BOOMESPORTS.
Completely cleaning up house on towards A main, and now we're finally going to get that gun round, okay? Give that one away, throw it in the dish, and let's now see what FENNEL have to bring. There, you can see that they're bringing kind of like a double initiator setup here, composition. It's something that we do see quite commonly here on Split. Normally it may be like a Sova and Sky, sometimes even a Breach help to accompany that Sova, but this time they're pulling out the Kaio. Seems to want to turn things back down to the basics, rely on their gun skill, and see if they can apply in that way. But for the meantime, this time, they're trying B once more.
Yeah, aggressive play here for BOOMESPORTS. They go and try to take B main. They succeed at it. Dariali, however, is going to punish Flips Jadur over there towards that mid area. So aggressive play from the defense right now, not exactly working out, but they're happy to try to poke and prod. They do have the lesser weaponry here, so anything that they can do to bring balance right now to sort of even the playing field, I think is going to really help them out. Towards mid, they might actually catch off Tensai. It's not going to be because mid is watching his back. Now, Frostmine, he goes down all alone. No one to really refrag here, and this bonus round is looking like it's starting to fall apart for FENNEL Esports. They want to keep all their rifles, and at this point, it looks like they have a very good chance at doing so, but they still have 2 players to contend with here towards that A side. And that's, of course, the Sentinel and still the Astra as well.
One enemy remaining.
Not the easiest things to break through, but they do deal with the Sentinel, and that should be the side. That should be the round.
Flawless.
Well, as advertised, Asterisk is down low. 1v5. Who can bring that home? No one really can. In this case, clean, flawless round here coming from FENNEL. They're first, but they did have that weapons advantage, as we talked about, and Boom. It's them now who can finally get those guns, those rifles up on the board and really get a stop. That one was to be given away, and they're fine and happy to do that. Quite dandy for them. They're going to try this B lobby take once more coming from FENNEL. And this time you can see the setup here coming from the side of Boomer, looking a bit more ready to anticipate this, but they still got 3 players on that A site. There might not be enough manpower to hold back this full 5-man push with the Kaio ult coming as well.
Yeah, they got the off on Jitter, but he's on the completely other side of the map now. They're hitting straight onto B to full execute. Eor's gets 1 on the hold, and he's gonna actually find a double here. That's big for BOOMESPORTS. They whittle down the offense. Blazeking's gonna get another one. That's 2 players left here on the side of FENNEL, as it is all up to Tensai. Sova all
really
alone, coming all the way through Pizza, Market. He's got a tall task ahead of him for sure. If he can get a couple of kills here, I think that would already be a win, but definitely worth considering saving, as it's very early on, and you know the economy of FENNEL not really in the best place just yet.
Yeah, and that's
Sage
going to
even
continue
use
to
Raw?
destabilize
Get to
as the
see.
round progresses and as a few
the
rounds
entry,
go on forward. If Boom can continue to
just get
take
shut
these
the-
rounds,
she could just
very
shut the
important
fuck
for the
down.
economy of Boom and very, very detrimental to what FENNEL are trying to apply here. Now, Tensai, he is in 1v5. He's put in the same exact situation that Asterisk was a while ago. And this time, let's see if he can at least get a pick, able to dodge that flash for the meantime. But as you said, you know, the proper decision here would be to
30
save,
seconds
try and
left.
keep that weapon. I mean, at this point, you're going to need an ace clutch, which is definitely not out of the realm of possibility, but it's highly unlikely.
I don't think so. He's just gonna save this here. But going forward into the round, I'm really liking that Flips Jitter actually went ahead and picked up that early operator. He's so good on it. I mean,
10
if there's any
seconds
one
left.
player to watch on this map, actually it's Flips Jitter with op. You're gonna be seeing him making those aggressive pushes, taking dynamic plays, and taking map control away from FENNEL. That's what he's gonna be trying to do. Earlier on in this round, he actually went ahead and peeked towards short. Link. No one was there, but I imagine he's never going to peek the same angle twice. You're going to see him peeking into A main. You're going to see him go for those aggressive B main pushes, supported by maybe that Sky. And that's what I'm looking forward to seeing here from Flips Jitter, as he is, for a reason, one of the best players on Boom. He is the playmaker after all.
I mean, he was stepping into some very tough to fill shoes, some very deep boots there left in by Blaze King, right, that we saw. And
A Durin
King, rather. Sorry, we still got Blaze, of course, on this roster, but a Durin King, yeah, and that was some very big shoes for him to fill, but by all means, I think we saw during C Challengers 3 that he stepped up to the plate and he definitely performed. Now, can he do the same here in their final opportunity to get to the mecca of Valorant? That is still to be answered, but once again, they're doing this very, very common default now for FENNEL, where they place most of their players outside the B lobby position, and they have one lurk on top towards top mid, which is very standard here in APAC and well, Valorant in general. But for the meantime, it seems like Boom, they've done a good job of really halting these pushes, and so it's kept FENNEL now to want to find information before trying to go for an execute.
They're just slowing down, trying to burn away as much utility as they can. You know, what's interesting to me is that they've got MIDI on the operator, actually, just so early, and that's why they're playing slow. They want MIDI to go ahead and look for that early peak, have someone from Boom just walk into their crosshair. It's not going to happen, though, because Eeyore's totally ready for it. He's going to go and make that push happen, gets a kill, bringing us to an actual 4v5 now. And that's a really strong start here for Boom. They have brought down Eeyore very low, but Frostmine's going to be there to top him up. Rotating all through mid. They do have MIDI on the op, lurking through market all alone. It's a little bit unorthodox, but he does secure the map control that he needs, and this B split could actually happen off the back of it. They also have CLZ lurking from A main, and he's completely unchecked. He could actually catch someone off guard here, but with 12 seconds left on the clock, time is ticking down. They do need to get the kills, and they actually managed to find them. They still have only one player here towards the backside, but easily dispatched all up to Asterisk right now. But he's far removed from the situation. The res comes up on top of it, and it's a 1v3 difficult task ahead for Asterisk.
He's in 1v3, as you said, and he's going to need a few more to bring this one back. And of course, he does get the op here, and we did see him kind of lurk by himself towards A. Speaking of lurks, we also did see Mitty lurking towards that A site, but at this point, man, you get the op, you save it. It's a 1v3. What can you do? Give up the round. You have some cushion to work with, and he realizes that factor. So, FENNEL, they should be able to take this round number 5 to equalize, or at least cut the lead back down to just a single round. Now, 2v2 to 3, and he looks away at the... Actually, not landing the shot here is Tensai. He does spot that information out, but yeah, it's going to force him back, and he saves the op for now.
You know, Black and Blue, we had a little bit of background music for a second there. I was starting to get into the meditation and self-awareness and yoga vibe. I was ready to, like, breathe in. But I think it's gone now. I think we've handled it. Just a couple of moments of peace and respite right before we get started into the game.
By the campfire.
Yeah, exactly. This is how you warm up. This is how you get into the zone right before a long week of Valorant cast.
Yeah, or a long grinding session of MMOs.
Hell yeah.
One of which I think a lot of people have been grinding right now.
It's back. Okay, let's do yoga session, guys. Extend your arms. Breathe.
ASMR cast. This is what everybody signed up for, of course, but what they might not be signing up for here, Boom, is this full 5-man, actually 4-man push that might come towards B-side very soon. They've been successful in holding that back for the meantime, but this ER goes down. That is a Killjoy who was very instrumental to holding the push off the last time, round number 3 or 4. And now he's down. This could be an opening for FL to tie up the game.
Yeah, this is a pretty good opportunity here, especially with the investments that they have been putting in, man. The operator is not a cheap gun, and so Flips Jitter, they're going to have to make this work. I think they're going to be fully reset after this. Like you said, we've already managed to find ourselves in a 3v5. Now, the ultimate is up for Frostmind, so he can actually pull out the Seekers if he needs to. That guiding light actually should give information that there is players in B main. There are players. And the full execute for FENNEL coming up, this is where they excel. Paper Thin mentioned this earlier. They have clean executes, and they go into the sites and they take them rather handily. It's all up to Boom. They need to get at least one pick, and they do. Frostmind manages to find a double kill as he gets Tensai and Jinx. Finally will be traded out by Midi, but it's still a 3v2 one-man advantage here for the side of FENNEL. They're going to find themselves in a decent position to take this into a tie game.
This is still doable, though, for Boom. If Flip Jitter here can find the pickoff, especially with his operator in hand, then this could easily be a round that they can come back into, but they're going to need to take on that time because it is hollowing away from them. The sands of it are slowly withering, and now Flip Jitter trying to find an opening pick, but FENNEL, they're just not giving him that opportunity. The operator has to be the peeker and cannot land the shot as 2 of them are already holding the angle. It's going to be all down here to Asterisk. He's going to need an exclamation at the end of this because this should be a done deal. 1v3. No way to get into the site safely. He's able to find one, but a quick trade-off here from Dariali will secure the round as FENNEL find equilibrium and tie the game up.
3-3, I wouldn't say it's completely unexpected for a score like this to manifest itself in this game. I mean, you know, we thought it would be rather a close game. I do want to point out a couple of players that are stepping up. Dariali, Frostmind right at the tippy top of the scoreboard for his team with 6 kills. And this is a good sign. I mean, when you have the newest player on your team fragging out, Frostmind, it's a good sign that he's actually, you know, a fit, right? Because when teams are newly formed, you either go through you either go one way or the other. It's either the honeymoon phase where they're hitting shots and they're winning everything, or they're kind of like not, and they just really need to go through an adjustment period. It's looking like the former rather than the latter here for BOOMESPORTS because Frostmind is, I think, doing a fairly good job at filling in for, you know, NC Slasher himself, and it's very evident right now that he feels much comfortable playing on that Sky role.
For sure. I mean, he was always a great player on Alter Ego, and mind you guys, he only left within like the past month to go here into Boom, and so it's a big change for them to be taking him on, but the eco round so far not looking too good for Boom. Have yet to find the pickoff as 2 clean ones have been going the way of FENNEL. They find a third here, Flip Jitter. That's the second now for Jinx, and Tensai will find one of his own to bring it on to Asterisk in another 1v5 situation. This should be a done round, and that it is.
Yeah, flawless round here, and that's exactly what FENNEL need. They want to keep their anti-ecos clean. They want to keep that economy healthy. They want to be able to buy as many times as they can, especially coming into the later stages of the half. This is definitely something that they want. And BOOMESPORTS, they're going to go straight back ahead into this round with basically everything that they need and more. If you look, they have 4 ultimates up. They have the operator and Flips Jitter. But what I would really like to see for Boom is a little bit more affirmative map control. They did it at the start of the game, but ever since the end of that bonus round, they just stopped doing it completely. And I think with the operator here on Ascent, you need to make that operator find value, because people aren't just going to walk into your crosshair a lot of the time. And if you go into a retake situation like we have in the past few rounds, retaking with the operator, very much a difficult task. And so I'd really like to see Flip Jitter go for those early picks towards B main, go for those early peaks towards A, and try to get an early man advantage for him.
You know what I love here about FENNEL is lots of people like to assume that you can only opt on the Jet, but no, they've been keeping it in Mitty's hands on that Kaio. And really, while, you know, Jet might be the most favorable, I guess, on paper because you can back off, get that free peek, and take another shot, really, if you can land your opening shots, and sometimes it ain't too bad to have it on another agent. We've seen that happen around APAC. You know, some teams like to have it even on a Breach or on a Raze. It does work out. Some teams even play on Omen in EU. But for the meantime, well, speaking of omens, a bad one seems to be signaling here for the side of FENNEL because 40 seconds left on the clock and they still have very little control. Looks to be an A take very soon.
Yeah. That is the movement here from Astra already being deployed. Another full execute coming in. Tensai gets the refrag onto Asterisk. Now a 4v4. The lockdown available for Eeyore. Should be deployed once the spike goes down here, and it will invariably be so. As we're going to look for a full retake here with a 4v5. Now, lockdown timer is counting down. They're going to be leaving Jinx on site for now. I imagine he's going to try to get a pick, but he doesn't end up doing it. And instead, the site is completely clear. Now it's a 3v3. Midi, good for an opening pick. Ooh, followed up with another nice shot onto that down low player. It's all up to Blaze King, very low on HP, 30 seconds. And I don't think he could get out of this spot if he tried. He's gonna have to land some nutty shots, but it's Midi instead with a triple kill on that operator, bringing FENNEL even further ahead up against Boom.
Nicely done here from FENNEL. I think, you know, coming into the series, by all means, most people do kind of feel that they are the underdogs, and I have to agree. But we did talk about how both of these teams are at a 65 win percentage rate here on Ascent for both of them. It's really a toss-up, and I love the fact that, you know, as soon as that smoke came down in A main, they put the wall up to boost Midi to get that angle over the smoke. They can see the entire sightline of the site with that operator, and it's also quite good recovery, honestly, from FENNEL, because when they put the lockdown here from Boom, Tensai only had a single shock dart. You need two of them to destroy that lockdown. He only had one, and so they play that perfectly by falling back, giving up enough space at the right time to really be able to repounce on it, and now they are up 2 rounds, looking to extend that on the third as Boom are once again on an eco.
This is looking very good for FENNEL. One of the characteristics that I like seeing in a team is if it's your map pick, you better be ready with good executes. You better be ready with a good plan on the attacking side. And that's exactly what FENNEL have brought here. It's catching Boom off guard. And, you know, for one thing, FENNEL, they're actually a pretty good defensive-sided team, too. So if they can even get this map extended to, like, what, 7-5, even an 8-4, I'd say they're in a very comfortable spot. Going by the history of FENNEL's games, they're very strong on the defensive side. And I think Boom are really going to struggle if they can't close out the last even 2 rounds.
Yeah, I mean, on the defensive side here, you kind of need, at the very least, maybe 6-6, 7-5, even if it doesn't go your way. If you can't get these next few rounds, then things are going to start to look to be a runaway train against you. And look at this, Tensai with the 4th, even the ace, why don't you? Looks like Midi has something to say about that, though. But Jinx will take it on the opposing Jet, and they do get this 6-3. Arguably, Ascent, a defender-sided map, and FL, they're making it happen here on the attack.
I really am liking what I'm seeing from FENNEL. They're making good mid-round calls. They're going for the executes at the right time. They're playing Boom, and Boom is really just dancing to their tune right now. Boom finally decided to call a tactical timeout, and very aptly so. They have been struggling on this defense. They don't know how to hold onto the defense and onto the sites. Like, the best holds that they have had was Frostmine getting those double kills on those B entries. And other than that, it's just been a really weak showing on the defense for Boom. They can't figure out how to get the map control that they need. And I think that should start to change here. I'd like to see them take a little bit more presence in mid. I'd like to see them maybe try to take a main, because they're just letting FENNEL walk right over him. This is not how Boom normally play, mind you. We've seen them play a million times, and I don't know if it's the nerves or whether they have the jitters or whatever, but they're playing very passive, and this is not characteristic of how they normally play this defensive side.
You kind of have to think sometimes if, you know, maybe it's the new addition to this roster, maybe they're not exactly feeling themselves just yet. We did see during the C Challengers playoffs, Elu, that, you know, they're a team that does kind of take a while to warm up, and they have typically lost map number 1, then come back map number 2, then bring it to that, you know, final decider, and it goes either way. For the most part, Boom have been winning those deciders, but not against some of the best when it actually comes down to it, and that's something that we have yet to really see Boom scrape themselves out of. And now, looking at FENNEL here, well, they're not necessarily in the same ditch here as Boom, because they've got this 3-round cushion, looking to find some control here towards A main, but for the most part, they're biding their time. They're letting to see if Boom are going to make a move. In that case, they do kind of here towards A main, but not too much commitment on the Boom side. I'm actually hoping to see a bit more initiative here from Boom, instead of kind of waiting for FENNEL to make a move.
Yeah, they take B main, they get Flips Jitter in that aggressive position is what I want to see. He will be taking a couple of shots there, though. I think I heard the operator ringing out from B main, so he will be falling back off the top of that. So that's a lot of information actually given off of just one knife from that KO. And they should actually have even more information after that guiding light as well. Now they're grouping up towards A, and in full FENNEL style, they're going to be going with that late round execute here, just burning the utility away from BOOMESPORTS, and now they're going to be trying to take A here. They do have a killjoy for Boom onto this site, so that might make things a little bit more interesting. But it's all going to be about whether they can hold it or not. So far, they haven't, and that's another entry from their reality. That's a Sage opening things up here. A side completely vulnerable, completely taken in here. Jinx, aggressive peek will be punished by Flip Jitter, and that's a little bit of a saving grace right now for the side of BOOMESPORTS. Good nade onto their reality, not going to do enough to force him off the plant though, as Asterisk now will be propping up, and he gets a double kill. Dariali's good for a frag here, but Flip Jitter trades him out immediately. 1v3, CLZ looking for one, he's got it. Now 2 more to find as he pushes towards side. It's not planted for him specifically, so he will have to play this a little bit more aggressively. They don't even get it to half right now, and that's a nice gravity well to get him off of it here, but Flip Jitter is holding this angle, trying to jump peek across it, misses the shot. CLZ, he goes wide, but Blaze King is good for the punish. 6-3, making it 7.
Yeah, very difficult there for CLZ and FL here, FENNEL. They take the round and they're extending this even further. If they can bring this 8-4, dude, then this might be a done deal already. But BOOMESPORTS, I have to assume here, and I have to think, honestly, just looking at how things have been playing out, that FENNEL having a Kaio has been huge for them. You can see them initiating with that 0 point, just completely silencing the site and every single anchor in it, and it forces him back. It gives them so much space. They know that they have to play back because of that Kaio, that they can't actually anchor down and hold the site. So they give it up, they go back into the rafters, they go back into heaven, they give up, you know, and forward, and rather fall back towards tree. It's been something that FENNEL have been able to use time and time again to really, I guess, surmount themselves inside the site. But boom, they get that round, and that maybe just be the round that they can, you know, try and turn things back once more.
I agree. I think that Boom, you know, they have at least a foothold in this half here, and 8-4, you know, they can make an argument, you know, with that scoreline, but they definitely want to get at least 5, because FENNEL, again, I said on the defensive side, they're one of those teams that are very good at it. And, you know, from what I've seen at least, they have made some great comebacks. They did it. They made a great defensive side comeback against Zeta in their previous series, and, you know, if they can repeat that success here, then Boom should be out of map number 1. Now, Blaze King is going to get that kill onto Jinx. That's a strong opening pick here. The Jet already gone. The hard entry removed from the equation for FENNEL. And so that's going to make them rotate all the way back. The presence completely attenuated here towards that B main side is they might not expect, Flips Jitter with the operator this high up.
Spike
Flips Jitter
down,
gets one.
mid.
Tailwind out.
30
It's
seconds
going to net
left.
him a positive for now, because that's 2 players down from the side of FENNEL as they make their retreat here towards B. Instead of going straight from B main, they go to market instead, but they are going to be going into a crossfire. There's 3 players here holding from the side of Boom. They've dispatched one. Blaze King gets another in response here, but they don't expect Eeyore, and it's a great defensive read this time from BOOMESPORTS.
Yes, very nicely done here from Boom, and I
half.
like what I'm starting to see. Maybe catching on and reading the book here a bit too late into the half, but they finally get it done somehow. You can see that they realize, okay, they've been leaving lots of avenues open here. They don't have a true sentinel on the side of FENNEL. No Killjoy, no Cypher, and this just lets Boom, you know, kind of push whichever avenue they've left open here for the side of FENNEL. And in that case, in this case, Flip Jitter finds his way all the way to the top of mid, and it was something that they really didn't expect. So very nicely done from him. That's the initiative I've been talking about that I like to see. And Flip Jitter gets a pick from there. Jinx going down is a huge find now for Boom.
You will
exactly what I was hoping for them to do at the very start of this game. Play that Boom playstyle that we know and love. Play that aggressive operator. Do the Flips Jitter thing, because he's hitting those shots. And exactly, they're starting to win the rounds. They're starting to feel that momentum. This is something that we needed from them much earlier on. As the Hunter's Fury comes out, it connects onto one. It gets Dariali. Might find another. It does. It actually gets a lot of value. That Hunter's Fury definitely making life difficult for FENNEL at the moment. Still a 3v5 salvageable for now, as it's looking like Boom might just take us into a tie halftime scoreline.
They've got the Kaio ult here, and with Tensai being tagged up by that, and Dariali down, no more heals to try and take away that chip damage, or at least recover some of it. as a full 3-man push is going to have to come here
Covering
towards B side, but this setup is going to be quite detrimental to that aspect. They don't have any other ultimate to apply here, while the Cosmic Divide is still up online for Boom for that retake. Now here comes a B side push, and
30
you
seconds
can see
left.
that Flipshooter is trying to find a lucky shot in through the smoke, and CLZ, they clear up the site. This is perfect now for FENNEL. They brought it to a 3v3, and this is a great opportunity, but Boom, they have a lifeline to work with here. They have that Cosmic Divide, and this could potentially swing the retake around their way back once again.
If they can get it in the right place in the right time, I'm sure that Astra Cosmic Divide can be the linchpin in this round, but they have an operator. They need the operator to find a shot. Flipshooter, he misses that opportunity. And Midi, he's going to get that trade frag onto Frostmine, now a 2v2. Flipshooter switches out to the Vandal, and with low HP, I think he should have
They're
stayed
standing.
on the top exactly as Tensai takes him down 1v1 right now. It's Asterisk who is caught looking the wrong way completely. As it is FENNEL to take us into
Switching
halftime
sides.
with a 2-point advantage here. They are looking strong today. And if my predictions are going to be correct here on the defensive side, it should be more of the same.
I mean, I get why he had to switch on over to the rifle because, you know, it's not the best weapon to kind of retake with when you have an operator in your hands, and that's true for many a shooter alike, but then again, he was quite low, so you kind of play that thin line on which exactly aspect you want to go for here, and they did have the Cosmic Divide, didn't end up using it because they were kind of unsure on where to use it at the first place. You could even block off B main hell and give yourself at least one more safer angle, if anything, but in that case, well, FENNEL, they just opened up the site. You can see there exactly that Mitty has been one of the stars, one of the top performers in this map for FENNEL, and they wouldn't be in this lead without him, but the rest of them, the whole team here now, they have a chance to maybe extend this lead further on the defensive half as we move into possibly an A take.
It's a little bit off meta, isn't it, that Midi was on the operator for the majority of the game on the attacking
totally.
side, but it really worked out for them. It snuffed out a lot of the aggression from Boom. It stopped a lot of the pushing, and whenever he needed information, he just threw out his knife here. But again, full execute. Now it's Boom's turn to show them how they can execute onto that site. A is completely open right now after that kill here from onto CLZ, and that's another nice shot here from Flipshooter. Blaze King to follow up with another as well. Now a 2v5.
Spike
And
planted.
both of these players coming in here from short. They have to deal with Flipshooter, who was pushing. He gets dinked up, but he gets away in the nick of time, falling back,
Here.
giving information to his team that both players from FENNEL are coming up from that heaven side, and all they have to do is watch that angle. We have Crossfire, so this should be a round done and dusted for Boom Esports right now, and all they got to do is keep it clean. But it's a nice shot from Dariali, and Flipshooter with a 4K on the pistol round, making a statement that this game is nowhere near over.
Yeah, turning the tables over there, scratching that wheel, and now they're only a single round from tying this up. And of course, you know, with them winning the pistol of the second half, this should be a round that they tie things up, and we should be going to equilibrium. But I don't know if that's going to be the case, Elu. We have seen that, you know, a lot of these teams are quite thrifty on these eco rounds of theirs. Can FENNEL do it this time and maybe steal a round away from Boom, or are Boom going to give us what is to be expected and really bring us to that 7-7 scoreline? It seems like FENNEL, though, they're taking a chance. They're stacking the B site here. But really, Boom, they're more anticipating a push coming from FENNEL over anything. You can see them playing back, and that's exactly a telltale sign of that.
I agree. I think this is the time that FENNEL, they're caught off guard at the very start with that full A execute, and this is one thing that Boom, they really like to do. They want to, on the attacking side, you want to assert your dominance, you want to get in there, control the tempo, control the pace of the game, and that's one thing that I think is very fundamental to any attacking side. So they did that in the first round. They forced FENNEL to respect them, and that's exactly what FENNEL's doing. They're playing so far back. They're playing very passive. They're gambling on towards that B site, but instead, Boom are going to make the right call to yet again go here towards A, and they're going to be greeted by nobody but Tensai, who has a sheriff in hand. And that should pretty much be the site taking. They know where he is as well on the top of that recon vault, so that's all the information that Boom need and more as Flipshooter spams Tensai through that smoke.
Nice reconnaissance there with the bolt, and recon skin as well chiming in. Ender did talk about a while ago on the panel that, you know, Boom, they do love their A site, Elu, and that is quite evident by these opening 2 rounds, which is, well, in which case, rather, they both take that option. But for this meantime here, FENNEL, they're down to the 4v5. Pistols is all they got. Honestly, all they have to do here is die. Like, maybe get a kill and then die, because you don't want to hold on to these. You want to reset for that economy going into the third.
Them.
they can potentially get this flank going, but nope, they're gonna get shut down, I think. I think they kind of realize where they are right now, and Flip Jitter finding those picks on the heaven should give them an alleyway to escape now into the tree side and not give up any more kills potentially to this A main hold. And as CLZ goes down, that's a round.
BlazKing actually had the right idea. Everybody from FENNEL Boom made the right call. Yeah, instead of going out through A main, they go ahead and they push towards CT, which was completely clear, and they even get short. BlazKing, however, he had the right idea. All right, let's not go where the last player is, but he just didn't have enough time and ended up dying to the spike instead. And we now find ourselves in the 7-7 tie game at the moment. As not really the best of buys coming in here from Boom. They are only on 4 SMGs, and sure, they have the Blade Storm on Flip Jitter. See what he's got here as the entry comes in. Oh, already taken to 38 before he sees anyone, and that's gonna make him softer and squishier for CLZ to take down Midi with a good double. Swinging out at the right time to just completely nullify this push right here from BOOMESPORTS. Another great set of kills here as we see a nice top-down view of the round, 8-7, and FENNEL come out on top yet.
Denied here by FENNEL as, well, they take that gun round firmly. No other kind of side questions here if they really did win that or not, because that was very decisive from them. And now Boom, they finally have rifles here. They're playing with what they got, you know, a few Spectres abound on that prior round, but this time, no such thing. Looking to split things up, 3 towards the top of mid and 2 towards B. Quite a default that they like to play a lot, actually, and you can get this early information as well coming from Mitty with this 0 point. I'm not sure if it's really going to land on anybody. No, it doesn't. Able to dodge it for the meantime. But with that, look at the space that he's bought from them. He's walking all the way up towards Catwalk, but here at the top of mid as well, Eeyore is holding down that line. He might actually be able to catch Mitty off guard.
Yeah, maybe we can see what Mitty is up to, because he's right around the corner of Eeyore, but Eeyore's prepared for it. He gets Mitty completely off guard there. Standoff there towards top mid means that there's one less player on the defensive side, and I'm going to be making a decision off of this. Where do we go now? And once again, looks like it's going to be towards A, as the spike will be making its way towards that A site. There are 2 players holding it for now. Good couple of taps right there from Jinx and CLZ. They managed to find a 1-man advantage here for the side of FENNEL. Now, Boom, it's all up to what they can do off of this. A side is going to be this much harder to take, because there's now 3 players for Boom already here, cheating away 10 side, and at the same time, Jinx is rotating out. It is the wrong call entirely. CLZ, he's being sucked in from that gravity well still catches him. He got pinged, but he still gets a kill before he drops down. BlazKing and Frostmine are there, good for the response. Let us do a 2v2.
1 enemy remaining.
Good information, but an even better shot from Frostmine as he brings it to a 2v1, all up to Dariali, the sole player clutching. Right now, can he do it? Spike just has gone down, so at the very least, he has a lot of time flashed, but the wall is up to give him an off angle. Will it give him the edge that he needs? Spots the tip of the head, but can't land a shot.
Remaining.
Low HP though, and Frostmine is taken down. Dariali heals himself up, and it's all up to BlazKing, who's playing safe towards that aim, and it's planted completely for him. Now Dariali sees his shoulder. Gonna slow him down. Maybe we'll try to get it to half. And oh, he actually has an angle here to defuse this, but BlazKing, too wise for it, decides to swing wide and catches him.
Very nicely done from BlazKing. Almost pulling out the clutch here, Dariali, but I mean, that small hesitation here coming from the side of BOOMESPORTS was just enough for FENNEL to kind of second-guess himself. He saw that they were did have that, 3 stack towards the A site, but once again, that small hesitation kind of pulled them back towards the CT, towards the spawn instead, and they honestly kind of outplayed themselves there, and the book out-reading their own, and this time they were judged by the cover and not the actual pages inside. So Boom, right now, have this economic lead that they can really continue on further, and I do think that this should be a Boom lead, but can they actually make it happen here, FL, especially with this A main push? Information given away, but nothing yet to be found as Asterisk does find Dariali.
Yeah, one of the players that you do want to take down, Dariali going down early. It's only an ego round here, black and blue, but again, if FENNEL can make things expensive, challenge the economy here of Boom. It gives them a little bit of a boost, but doesn't look like it's gonna happen anytime soon. CLZ, I think he actually did manage to get the orb right before the spike got planted. So that's at least a little bit that they've come out with on this round here, but it is still a 1v5. I'm hoping CLZ, they get something. He gets something maybe just to challenge Boom a little bit here. But yeah, into this game, it's as close as it can be, Black and Blue, 8-8. And this match is starting to deliver. A lot of... I know Paper Thin didn't predict it. He said 2-0 for Boom. And we didn't get to make our predictions, but it's looking like it's going to be made into a close game here. FENNEL, they're really sticking into Boom right now. And if FENNEL can get their map pick, it's honestly such a massive, massive win and a massive help to them.
I mean, most people are looking at them to be the underdogs in this situation, in this matchup, and in any kind of underdog situation, you want to be able to take that map number 1. That's a big win condition for a lot of these underdog teams to maybe win a full best of 3. I still do believe we're going to go into the final decider, into split at the end of things, but FENNEL, they could make an early advantage, rather an early kind of intro into the next series if they can take this one. For the meantime, though, FENNEL, they are kind of looking to funnel here the rest of Boom Esports in a main. You can see that Boom, they're geared, they're ready for that execute, but so are FL to be able to anticipate that and stop that from even coming in. The wall here, the smoke rather, will kind of hamper their push, but now as it dissipates, information given away, Mitty has a perfect opportunity to make a play here, as now the smoke gives him enough time to get that 0 point off a cooldown. Cosmic divide up here, but he doesn't mind, he doesn't matter, and he's going to try and go for things. Pop flash out on through, will be able to deny the plant, but he's going to go down himself. A flurry of those frags come either way. It's down to a 3v3.
And with that Astro Wall is for that quick plant. They're just going to dash on out of that site and play completely for the post plant. They do have a Sova up, so it's a viable strategy for now. They would have been happier if Mitty was up just to throw those nades out and those flashes, but it's all going to be about how they can retake this site here. The wall has already been used, so this is going to be a little bit tough as Hunter's Fury actually catches off Jinx. Now Frostmind is there with a follow-up and Asterisk to seal the deal on that round. BOOMESPORTS have found themselves, onto double digits and 3 rounds away from closing out that game. BOOMESPORTS, I said this earlier on Black and Blue. I said FENNEL should be much better on the defensive side, but Boom, it seems like they have ideas of their own.
It's almost looking like an attacker side map right now, Elu. I mean, it's quite interesting to see, and it was quite a conundrum almost there for Boom. They were trying to get that plant down, and initially, FENNEL were able to deny that, but eventually catching up there, and good recovery from them to be able to get the spike plant down and win out in the post plant, only losing one single player in that post, and Blaze King completely setting things on fire here for Boom, as both Jinx and Mitty, the top fraggers right now for FL. FENNEL being taken down, and now Boom, they have a really good spot now to claim this anti-eco. Flip Jitter finds one more, and this should be a clean round. A quick one for Boom.
Last player standing.
I like the idea, like, on paper, it's a nice play, and when you see Jets doing it, but on theory, it looks good, but I just don't think the execution was there. Nobody was flashed by it. They were all ready for the dash in. They already had a couple of players waiting for that push if it did come, and Boom just made really a good read on it. A little bit of a question mark actually what FENNEL was doing on that one.
Well, they were low in economy. I can applaud that they wanted to try something out, instead of the usual, okay, we're eco, we're just going to play inside the site and maybe take these Sheriff 1 leagues, but I like the initiative being shown there. Maybe a bit misguided, but they have the right idea, I think, at the end of it, so that's the important fact.
Very diplomatic way of putting it there, Black and Blue, but yeah. Okay, now aggression here from Darielli. I'm not sure I like him being first aggression since he has the res, but he's just going for that first peek out, and he actually does get the kill. Trades out his teammate. Tensai is reviving. He does get res. Darielli is taken down here, but Tensai gets out. So that's a positive net. That's a net positive here for the side of FENNEL. They do get themselves in a 4v2 on top of that res, and Jinx is right there with a shot from the operator. All in the hands of Frostmind. Nice shot, though, however, from Frostmind. Tapping away at the operator. That's the op gone. And just what?
Hey, man.
What?
Battle Sage. That's all you gotta know.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, never question it once more.
Like, I
Otherwise,
mean, the battle
Dariali-
stage is good, but you don't really want to be first to peak when you have the
No,
res available.
No, Battle Sage always
fine.
peak.
Okay.
Yes, Sage. Look what he did. He got them 2 picks.
All
They're
right,
now in
yeah.
a 3v1. It works, bro. Res, well, maybe burnt, but still. Yeah.
No,
Battle
I
Sage
think it
is
worked
a win.
out because he died and then Tensai lived.
30
so
seconds
it's like
left.
my life for yours.
Yeah, as any healer would. Hacksaw Ridge coming into full effect, it seems,
Yeah.
you know. Well, not actually, because he did choose violence at some point here.
He did.
He got like 2 picks from that, so... Speaking of healers, Frostmind, he's got a lot to bring back, but 1v3, he's spied out, he goes down. Tensai takes that. First to go down, and last one to get the kill as well in the round. So very nicely done from him. Now, boom, a round away here, Elu, from match point.
Yeah, it's 2 rounds that separates these 2 teams. Honestly, not a lot. And this game is very, very close. But from what I've seen from FENNEL, they have a lot of problems closing out games. Like, they will get really close to making a full comeback, and they do make comebacks. We saw them go overtime against Zeta. We saw them take a lot in their own VCT. They had so many close series, but very much failing to get just that winning point. That winning moment has somehow eluded them. Now they're 2 rounds away from tying up, and they're also 2 rounds away from losing. So if FENNEL can actually maybe break the curse here in this map number 1, we could be in for a very interesting rest of the tournament here, because that would mean a big growth spurt for this team, FENNEL.
You know, now it actually does kind of make sense when I think about it that they're pulling out the Kaio here, because the last time we did see them play Ascent officially was against Crazy Raccoon, right, in Stage 3 of Japan VCT. In that case, they had the Phoenix over the Kaio, and they had the exact same composition otherwise. And, you know, you get the Flash like a Phoenix, you get the Molly like a Phoenix, and you get a bit of different utility, but it isn't that big of a far cry here for Midi to be on that Kaio. And so, op shots ringing out here to try and scare them away from the A site, get the flock of birds going the other way. And now that's exactly what Boom are going to try and do. Trying to aggress here towards B. Maybe split it if they can take that market control.
I've got your
Seems
trail.
like Eeyore has an opportunity here to get that flank.
Yeah, that flank could really come in handy here.
30 seconds left.
Being the lurker, but in fact, it's just the map control that he has taken. It allows for the rotation here to come in for Boom, and that's a little bit of a premature Hunter's Fury, actually. Doesn't really get much, but we'll get the spike down here with 12 seconds left. Dariali could come huge. Looking for 3, but
seconds
gets
left.
denied. Flips Jadar and Eeyore here to bring it back. 2v2 right now, and oh, the shock dart. That's going to be the lid on the coffin on this round here, as Tensai perfectly places that shock dart. BOOMESPORTS didn't give themselves enough time for that one, and, you know, FENNEL, they're happy to capitalize on it, and they do.
You're walking on a very, very tight rope on thin lines when you're going to really kind of rotate that late into the round. You have like 30 seconds. It takes you about 20 seconds to fully rotate from one side to the other. Sometimes more, sometimes less, but depends on the route you take. In that case, it does take quite a bit of time, and when you do that and you rotate super late, you're giving yourself one chance and only one opportunity to take the site. If you fail, you have no more retries. You don't have any other opportunities to retake that site because, well, there simply isn't enough time, and that's exactly what happened here to Boom. They're forced to rush into the site without clearing much, and they get shredded because of that. But now Jinx on the peak, able to find one. Does he know that there's one here in mid on Sub Rosa? That's going to be Eeyore. Could potentially get that trade, but Jinx, he seems ready here towards B-Link. He does not land a shot. This Eeyore going to turn him to sleep.
Well, that is a great pickup to find right now. 10 to 11 as Eeyore finds another. He's gotten... Now there's 2 players down on the side of FENNEL. Dariali has been great on these holds thus far, but this time he'll be punished. Eeyore finding 3 kills in this round. And he might just be the player to take them into match point here. And Eeyore finds a 4th. 4 kills for the Sentinel. And BOOMESPORTS, man, they managed to find map point on FENNEL's map pick. This is absolutely massive for them because we're going into Icebox next, Black and Blue. And, you know, Icebox, BOOMESPORTS, they have been fairly successful on it. And I'm very much looking forward to seeing what Boom can bring in it. And you know what? This is starting to look like paper thin getting a correct prediction with the 2-0.
That's certainly possible, and you know, I would like to see a full 3-map series coming here, especially for FENNEL, who, you know, as we talked about many times over, they weren't really expecting to be in this situation, right? They get in here kind of like by default, and they're looking to just show what they've got and really are happy to be here, but I'm sure they're going to try their darndest. And in that case, though, Eeyore and FlipJitter finding these opening double picks. We've seen Mitty kind of get quite aggressive early on in these rounds, and it hasn't always worked out for them. CLZ finding one, but the quick trade here brings it down to a 3v2. And BME, they're at match point, man, and they're at the cusp of taking map number 1 as well.
Yeah, and they've already gotten the spike planted down here. 2v3. It's going to take a massive effort from Tensai and Dariali to get this round. And, you know, it's just going to be so difficult. The crossfire's already set. Asterisk has found a kill. Tensai's down. Dariali 1v3 yet again the clutch, but with only a Spectre, he can't do it. 10-13 as Boom take the first game in this series. And it's going to be the Indonesia
APAC. Let's give it up because both of these teams are looking to further progress. You can see on the side here of FENNEL, they do have that Viper. We were looking to maybe if they were going to see Kaio, but no, here is the actual agents we're going to see in the game. This time, Mitty on the Killjoy. Double Sentinel. Curiously enough, for FENNEL.
Yeah, you know, FENNEL here, they've gone ahead and picked up that Killjoy. And it's very much, you know, I'd say fairly meta picks for both of these teams here, with the only exception really being that Killjoy. Normally you'll probably see a Reyna or like a Cypher. That last pick is usually very much up in the air. But for the most part, it's like that Viper that you got, and that Sova. You know, it's very much, I'd say, standard for what we can see here for now. Now, it is the first round coming into the pistol, and I'm hoping that BOOMESPORTS will have a really good pistol strat coming up for us. I mean, it is their map choice after all. And looks like they're just going to be starting with a wall here towards B. You'll see a lot of teams do this. They just leave that exact same wall towards B, and they just play out the rest of the round how they want.
Yeah, both standard walls towards B. Some teams like being a bit more proactive in this. In this case, well, they're looking to at least have the default thing set up. For the most part, FENNEL do have that good B side set up. They are playing that double Sentinel, so they should have a lot of time wasting power on their side, but boom. Speaking of time, FlipJitter has been record time into this tube. If he peeks out, the turret will spot him, but he could potentially get this information off to Mitty. Mitty knows he's here. He has to assume that he's somewhere near close as well. And Jinx is able to find one. That's not Jinx's luck because he is looking to play that quite fortunately as Eeyore goes down, looking to dip in for a second try.
Good opening pick right there. Jinx is able to get one. And if there's any player that you want to leave alone, it's FlipJitter. So he is just lurking. He's working that entire case in that mid angle all alone while the rest of his team works that A side. And he has actually managed to dash in all the way. So now they have the A side completely clear. But as I say that, Mitty and Tensai, a good couple of headshots there to land. Blaze King will find a refrag, but it's still going to be 3. Asterisk and Blaze, they've got a lot on their plate to be able to retake this round here. Dariali, he has that wall.
One enemy remaining.
He could potentially use that to his advantage, but it's looking like it's not going to be needed at all. A CLZ with a double kill will secure this round for the side of FENNEL, and they're looking strong here at the first round on Icebox.
Very nicely done from FENNEL, honestly. It was looking a bit dire for them, just a bit, because, to be quite honest with you, their defensive rotations were a bit hasty. They were moving back and forth between A and B and A, and you weren't sure where they exactly were going to settle because the time that Boom have been taking to kind of hesitate themselves has been catching FL off guard for the most part, especially on Ascent. But this time around, looking really nicely done, and even though they gave up an opening pick, they're able to recover from that, and now they do have the weapons to continue further on. Now, we did talk about how the Vipers... Actually, we didn't actually talk about how Vipers are influential, but we did talk about how their walls were used on the B site the last time around. This time, though, A site default wall coming here for the side of Boom. That's from Frostmind, and he's looking to maybe help them out and I guess isolate some angles. Let's go on over to the A side ops. There we go. The fight is happening here. Chaos, all conundrum everywhere. And FlipJitter is looking to enter into the site, and they go for a 1-for-1, 2-for-2 on either side. 3 versus 2 right now as Boom. They've made this force by work.
FlipJitter with 2 massive kills right there on the
Spike
entry.
planted.
He's able to bring us into a 3v2, and that is a very, very good force buy from Boom. They do need to close this one out. Fadeaway running headshot from Dariali. FlipJitter with 3 though, and he has one more to find if he wants to get this 4K. All up to Dariali yet again. It seems as Dariali has been forced to clutch so many times, and this is no exception here. He might just elect to fall back and save with time taken away here. Hold on to that Vandal that he has picked up, and indeed that is going to be the call. So a good change of pace, a good fast hit from BOOMESPORTS to catch FENNEL completely with their pants down.
I mean, it's not a situation anybody wants to be in, but I like the call here from Boom to, go for that quick aggression towards A main, or the A site in general. Put up the default wall on the Viper, and he's had to be able to isolate the angles. And when you have that Viper, and you're able to cut off a lot of those sight lines that, the defensive side could use against you, FENNEL could use against Boom, then those Spectres are going to be made even more so effective here, especially on a very cramped site like the A site itself. Yeah. They completely flood it. There's like 2 defenders on the site, and what can you do against a full 5 Spectre man rush? Just completely swatting you over. And now it's FENNEL here in the bad situation, Elu.
Yeah, last time on the first round, they actually had Flips Jadeur splitting up, but you can see with Flips Jadeur, with helping them on the entry, just able to open things up with a double kill like that. It's where's that shock dart going?
You ever see that movie, that anime where like there's a cause like a meteor and then it resets time and then Kimi no Nawa. Yeah, Kimi no Nawa. Reminds me of that.
Should we play the music in the background? I mean,
yeah, we had it on a while ago.
Anime music in the background, but
Spike down, B.
Terry with a refrag here, the only real rifle earlier on. Now, of course, CLZ has
one enemy remaining.
Well, and so does Midi, and they're just trading rounds, man. That's over as quick as it can be.
Not gonna lie, I'm kind of surprised they even went for tube there in the kitchen. I mean, you have the weapons advantage. You're gonna be up against like SMGs and pistols. Why close yourself off basically to going into kitchen, which is a very tight, compressed space? If you've watched the movie 300, you know that when you do not have the advantage, try and funnel him in. There's a reason why doors are called a fatal funnel. And in that case, they honestly kind of handed that round over to FENNEL. And good job by FENNEL as well for capitalizing on that too.
Looking like the Battle of Thermopylae in that one, indeed. It's just, I think there's so many ways of handling that mid control that Boom could have, that Boom could have done better. I'm not 100% sure why they would go in there instead. And you're absolutely right here. Just take the open angles, take the long range duels, and they got punished for it. Now Midi, once more, find the opening pick up onto Asterisk. The A site, very much in contention here. All of the utility by that Viper being deployed here towards A just to bolster the chances of defending this. They don't want to give it up. They don't want to let it go to retake. They want to shut this push down as soon as possible. They don't even want to let them get that spike down because that's added money. That's added
one
money.
enemy remaining.
Boom, and they do not want to let them have whatever they want. And just like that, they whittle away. All the members of Boom have been reduced to 1, and it's all up to Eeyore and the Sheriff.
This is something I've actually been seeing. Oh, okay, Eeyore might have disconnected. Seems to be the case because he wasn't moving, but you see that wall here by the Viper right now on the side of FL where it's coming from the site all the way towards the maze side. It's something that you don't commonly see Vipers set up here in the A side. Typically it would come from the screens all the way to the opposite side, the very right side of the minimap, not from here on the back end. There's a reason for that, is that you kind of give up maze a bit deep, well, less deep than you normally would have the other way around, but I'm pointing to this because this is something I've seen watching the tapes of FL, FENNEL these past few days, is they have a lot of these unorthodox walls that you don't normally see too often in other regions, but they make it work for the most part. I don't think it was the big reason why they won that round, but it was definitely an influential part of it.
Technical pause, and I mean, it's very clear as to why that pause has been called out, and it's just the way things are for Black and Blue. Sometimes you got to take a pause, maybe do some yoga like we did earlier, and just breathe. Sometimes technology just fixes itself.
Yeah,
like blowing into a cartridge of a Game Boy.
Yeah, I mean, wiping a disc.
Exactly, and Ender would know all about it because he's playing on a Game Boy now.
Yeah, he is. He
spent an hour, I think more than an hour, trying to kill an Iron Golem in Castlevania.
Yeah, like
say what you will about the guy, but he has got the determination.
That's what you need, of course, from top of your talent as himself. But let's go on to things here, Elu, as we're now in round number 5. Economy ball on both sides. Very common kind of quality here towards this B-long position. Flip Jitter finally lands a spray, taking some damage in return, but luckily for him, Asterix is there to patch him up.
Well, heal comes out, and they're going to be a little bit alright now as the recovery does come in. A little bit of moment of convalescence for this guy. As in this 4v5, there is still a lockdown available, so they could use it for a retake. I still would prefer if FENNEL go for a pick or a hold before they give up a side completely for the retake, especially onto the B side. They don't want to just let this go. They'll want to at least get one before they fall back and then make that retake happen. But instead, I think what's going to happen here is they're going to deploy it already. A little bit premature, if you ask me, but they might swing on the timing here because the timing might be very off for BOOMESPORTS. So it's all going to be about what they do. They're going to pull the trigger on it, go straight in. The plan is being worked on already, but it leads to nothing. A CLZ gets shut down. Frostmine looking to work his way onto the site, but it will not matter as the defuse came in.
One enemy
Just
remaining.
when I thought
Last
that
player
the
standing.
filter lockdown was a little bit off tempo, it was exactly where it needed to be.
I mean, it did kind of telegraph that CLZ was going for a flank. That's kind of normally what you would expect in that situation. It pulls them back further closer to mid, and you can assume that maybe somebody's going to try and dip in and out of that fight on the flank. But even though they catch CLZ off guard, it seems like they weren't ready or really anticipating the fact that the instant defuse would come on in. They stick it. They have a wall of their own here on the side of FENNEL, and on Deriali, very nicely done from him, and they get the round. So the Sentinels coming into really good effect here for the side of FL on the defensive side.
Pop shot coming in, raining through for Jinx here. Fast as the Blades King. Frostmine be able to get CLZ. Already the side. Whoa.
Spike down A.
Okay, now we're back in it. Frostmine with a triple kill. Here we go. That's what I like to see. Could
One
be an
enemy
ace
remaining.
clutch if he does it. Okay, kills the 5.
All right. Yeah, an ace clutch is exactly what he's going to need here in this case, and rotates all the way around now towards his B side. They're looking to split things up now. In this situation, you have two calls on the defensive side as FENNEL. Do we stick together and play a 2v1 assuredly, or do we split up and potentially go into a 1v1 situation? Both have merits. The latter will give you that earlier information, but also comes with more risk. In this case, he did go towards the B site initially, but he linked up here now with Jinx as they're going to both try and retake his B site. The pit has come on down, and they now realize what is up. The plan has been given away, but Frostmine has a perfect pit to sink them down in the hole.
I think is very much doable right now for Frostmine. Let's see how frosty he can be. Oh. I'm sorry, I just had to do it. Yeah. But they do actually get in the smoke. Can they find him? That is the question. He doesn't have any more snakes.
One enemy remaining.
The timing actually goes his way. 4 kills for him. The 5th one traded back. Eluded. They eluded Frostmine completely. The fuse comes through, and man, FENNEL, they are showing up. They are taking these rounds. And in a map where we said that they're just so uncomfortable on, they have no business getting, all these rounds in, this is a very good start for them. I mean, it is the defensive side, sure, which is more comfortable for any team that might not have practiced this a lot, because the attacking side will be, more of your executes that you would have practiced. But instead, they're showing up and they're showing everybody, okay, don't underestimate us on Icebox.
Illustrado, you and I, we might be Vandal holdovers, but not gonna lie, if Frostmine had a Phantom there, he probably wouldn't have gotten killed in the smoke in the Viper's Pit, because that's how Deriali was able to see him, information given away, and then the tracers just reinforce that and confirm where exactly he is. So it is what it is. But I mean, timeout here right now being called by Boom, not wanting this lead to get too out of hand. It's starting to look like that snowball, very aptly enough, because, well, we're in the icy tundras of Icebox, but yeah, that snowball, you do not want that to turn into an avalanche. Keep it as minimal as you can and try and, stop this lead from getting any further. And the hallmark of great teams are ones who can kind of bounce back and rebound after, losing these kind of rounds and calling a timeout. They come back from this, and Boom, we know that they are a team who has lots of kind of expectations from them and a huge organization in the Southeast Asia region in terms of FPS. And they've not been able to live up to that yet so far in Valorant in terms of being the top guys, but they're looking, obviously, as we're here in LCQ, to make that change.
Yeah, they have struggled, Boom. I mean, they started off this entire year in Valorant as potentially one of the tops in the entire region. They were putting up wins up against Bren, now Team Secret, who were they defeated them in the first and I think even the second SEA Masters, SEA Challengers. But obviously now very much struggling to find any semblance of, you know, the same kind of form that they had at the very start of the year. We were looking at them to be like the front runners here for SEA. But again, this is their redemption arc. If they can come up in a big way in LCQ, then this is everything we've been looking for. But that's a good start to it. Eeyore with 1 kill.
Take flight. Oh, Eeyore, okay. Nicely done from him. Having the loudest of games so far, as Jinx will find Eeyore, 1 and done. Here comes a peek out, and Mitty rather will get found. Oh no, Jinx goes down to his own. The res will come in from Dariali. It's a scramble on the B side, and right now the eggs are being tossed and turned. Boom. They should be able to get this plant down, and that they will, but Mitty completely denying Asterisk right after to get back to safety. A 3v3, a retake is going to come here from FL. They've got some utility to work with, but not much left.
Last player remaining.
And he's just gonna get shut out completely.
Last player
but
standing.
Frostmind is able to find 2, unable to find the 3rd. It's Mitty who does. He gets a triple kill. The snakebite did come out, but still a lot of time to hang out, pick up that operator, and stylishly, just coolly. Yeah, I got a triple kill and the off. Now I'm gonna defuse the spike.
Oh no, you don't deserve my
nice day for him.
inventions.
You know, you wake up on the right side of the bed, you can tell that your hair is cooperating, and you also realize that, okay, I just got
You're hitting
off.
your shots.
Yeah, that's a good day. The day was a good day, in the wise words of one Mr. Ice Cube. Here in this box.
This is...
Turn out.
Oh,
Another
Okay.
kitchen setup.
yeah, kitchen setup. Coming in right here, but pardon us again, we are having a little bit of a technical issue. We are getting it sorted out as soon as we possibly can so we can deliver to you the best of the action here in these rounds. All right, let's talk about Boom. It is the next round on the board. Quick dash up from Flips Jadur. He looks to open things up on top of 2, but misses the shot. Mitty actually gets away from it. Hunter's Fury being deployed all the way from A main. Was that a blind ultimate? He just
I'm
tried
not
to
sure.
get a pick off?
I was kind of
Yeah.
wondering too, like, there was no recon
That was a
bolt.
blind ult. He does still have all of his utility. Jinx with a good opening pickup though.
Your duty is not
Will be
over.
res.
Very curiously. I mean, he doesn't have Algo, no recon, so maybe he used one off, but I don't think he actually had to ping off of that. Jinx is able to find that kill here, Ilu, and as Blazeking goes down, that's a big pick for them. Blazeking, he might be in the Sova, but he's a big-time player in the fragging capabilities for Boom. Flip Jitter, another name here to be feared. Finds Jinx, the opposing Jet. They're going to melt this wall down immediately. Oh, Asterisk is such dangerous waters right now. Marking in that muddy
Spike
water,
down
and Tensai is
A.
going to find one, but the quick trade-off here from Eeyore will bring it to a 3v3.
Time taken away on the lockdown here. Dariali able to cut off 1, but only 1 he gets. As now we're in a 2v2. Mitty looking, searching for more clues.
30
as to where
seconds
they
left.
went. Can't track any footprints for now because the rotation has come in full swing on towards that B site, and boom, they're going to be greeted by a completely open bomb site here. They're going to plant a little bit default on this one. They don't want to push for more. They do just want to play that crossfires. They're going to have Eeyore fall back, and they're just going to play their angles.
Oh, well, you're going to have to find some way to slice and dice this up. 2v2 right now, both duelists up online utility. It's the story here for FENNEL. As this peek is not going to favor Mitty. You can't jiggle peek that because Eeyore is going to land every single time. And now in the 1v2, Flip Jitter is low, and so a single bullet can do him on in here. CLZ finds that one, and now he suddenly has a lifeline opportunity here to win this, and he does get the clutch. CLZ has more than enough time as well for the defuse, and FENNEL still somehow ends this round out. They extend the lead even further. 6 rounds now above Boom.
Not entirely sure why Flips Jadur would go for a jumping peek like that. I mean, I know he's checking the angles, but in an area where he could be close by, you want to jump peek when you think they're far away and they can't tap you in the head. But when they could be close up, I think that's just a very big misplay. Maybe he might have been checking for B main, of course, but that just wasn't the case. But easy clutch right there from FENNEL. It's a very, very bizarre map that we're seeing here from Boom. I think that I don't know, they had so much momentum coming in from the last game, and it's looking like it's all fallen apart for them. FENNEL's just taking them by the reins.
I even talked about earlier on how this is a much higher percentage win rate for Boom here in Icebox, but FENNEL, they're making a case for being that the opposite way.
Spike down
Complete
A.
shutdown here from FL. FENNEL, CLZ, as the anti-eco has not found any fruit, has not bore anything for them. As FENNEL are looking to extend this lead up to 7 rounds. And Blaze, do some damage here. Maybe just get some kills for your confidence. But this is a done round, Elu, and Boom are looking quite awesome.
Yeah, Boom just looking like they are scrambling to get anything done. None of the opening picks really going their way. And it seems like FENNEL, they have completely figured out how to address the attacking side of BOOMESPORTS. And I said, man, if this is your map pick, you better damn well should be ready with like good executes, with unique plays. I haven't really seen anything special from the Boom attacking side thus far. It's all been standard play. It's all been like trying to read your opponent mid-round, but they've been outread every single time. They've been outfragged every single time. Nothing has gone the way of Boom this entire map. Just the pistol. And even the Eagle hasn't gone their way.
Yeah, they've been losing a lot of these clutches. They had the advantage, but still give it up away. They're Yali playing this very forward. They have a triple stack over the B side and not looking to give it up, but Flip Jitter is able to find that pin on their Yali himself, biting off a bit more than he can chew, and Jinx falls to the same fate. Right now, Boom have a good position, but we've seen them lose these. We've seen them lose these man advantages, and Mitty's able to equalize things up now. Frostmine goes down, and that's just completely looking like a missed opportunity here for Boom, but good find by Eeyore. Exactly what they need to get the confidence back into the round. Then he finds a second as well. 3v1, CLZ down and out. As he goes, finally, Boom take a round. But will it be too little too late at this point?
I don't think so. I think it still can be made a respectable half. 8-4, it's still a workable scoreline. And if there's anything that can start the Boom train, it's got to be Eeyore like that, hitting those shots. That's got to make him feel good. That's got to make his team feel good. When a team comes up with a really cool play like that, when the team member gets a triple kill and shuts down the defense, it's definitely going to boost their momentum, really help them get back into the game, into the mental state they need to be in. Because so far, Boom, they've just looked out of it. Hopefully, this is enough for them to get back into it. But we'll have to wait and see here as Flips Jitter, he pulls out the Blade Storm, and going to be the first one in as the Owl Drone does support him. Going up and above, CLZ is able to get a dodge. That's going to be punished right there. Frostmine getting that kill onto Midi. The rotation, the flank, completely shut out here by Boom, and it's looking like Boom have a better read right now on the situation.
Yeah, this is already looking a lot better, Elu, than what we've seen from their, earlier attacking side. And as I say that, Dariali just finds somehow a lifeline here through that spam on the smoke. Flip Jitter goes down. CLC looking to do the same exact thing, but they brought you a 4v4 right now. And this could be another opportunity for CLZ. Let that Toxin get back up online and use it for the retake, but it's going very deep into B main, so this won't actually help most of the retake out. You're gonna have to use what they got to work with in the pocket. It isn't exactly much. Jinx, he is very deep, but luckily for him, Dariali's got his back. That was a huge kill now coming from the side of FENNEL, and Blaze King's able to answer that. 3v3, Asterisk and Blaze King find one apiece. It's all down to Tensai and Jinx, as they're all being shredded down. The round has been secured by Boom, and they needed that round. You talked about how they can bring it 8-4, and that is looking very true as we're moving to the final of the opening half.
I think that was a great play right there from Boom. The way that they just held off, FENNEL. Really good usage of the utility. It came out one after the other. They couldn't even get the spike to half because of all the utility that was being thrown onto the bomb. They were using the lineups from the Sova shock darts. They were using the snake bite coming in from that Viper, and they timed it to perfection, man. They couldn't even challenge. They had the Viper smoke on top of B main actually worked in the favor of Boom because it blocked out vision and it allowed people to hold close and hold safe. So really that retake fully off the mark here from FENNEL. And if Boom can recreate that success again in this final round, and it looks like they're trying to as they go towards B, then they'll be in a good spot.
I mean, it's what happens when you kind of burn your Viper wall early in the round, and I actually quite favor when Vipers just hold on to their wall until they actually realize they have to use it now. That's the only time they set it out. And you're gonna get one of those cases here where the wall is on the A side, not affecting anything happening on the actual fight in the B side itself. And as the pit comes down, Jinx is able to find that trade-off here in the Flip Jitter, finds a second, but no more refresh on that. Asterisk and Blaze King, they equalize things up now. 2v3 at the moment. They can get a plant down, but it's being very difficult as Mitty's playing this very close corner with the judge. You're going to have to be able to extend that gap. Boom, very huge pick for them on their Yali.
Yeah, 2v2, make that a 2v1. Asterisk gets 3. Res comes out, but it does not matter to Mitty as he's able to isolate that fight 1v1 with a judge. Can he come up huge? And it looks like he will. That's going to be all the kills that Mitty needs to get back into this, denying the 8-4. as
Switching sides.
FENNEL, they've taken a 9-3 against Boom on Boom's map pick.
Judge Diff. We've seen, Ilu, that for a lot of these Japanese teams, the whole world was surprised at Berlin at what they can do with a judge in their hands, and once more, they this time pulled out against a C team, and boom, not ready for that. How do you even win against that? You would think that the B site is like the last place you'd want to pull a judge, right? It's very open, very large spaces, long distances you have to fight sometimes, but no, he makes it work. That wall was perfect for him to be able to play around, and he was able to isolate the fights the way he knew. Perfect timing as well, you know, to catch off that res for him. And FENNEL, man, if they win this pistol, we could very, very well be in the map number 3.
I agree. I think if FENNEL win this pistol, this game is like too late. It's too over. I mean, there is the 9-3 curse, and it is very, very real. Okay, I will not discredit that. But honestly, if you do win this pistol, there's a very, very big chance that you actually do take the map. Jinx, this strat, this is Paper Rex ran this in Berlin. He gets through, he gets above, it's awkward, they run past each other, and flips to dirt, just cleans him up from the back. They were all looking a little bit lost. Their reality's there for a kill. And the angle is perfect for him. They know exactly where to shoot. It's planted for them. They know the post-plant spot. They know exactly where to look, and Frostmine's good for one, but that's all he can get, as it is going to be another round here, and I think this could very well be the game here, black and blue, for FENNEL.
Yeah, that exact execute that you see, you know, going in through mid towards the tube in orange and then planting on the second floor of B is something that we've seen popularized by Paper Rex, but was actually done first and foremost. Actually, I think it was Fnatic who did that at the start of the thing, so yeah. But they don't do it as often as Paper Rex have been the ones to seemingly make it more popular. So
yeah.
They didn't start it, but they made it more popular is the case.
Cool, kind of
see
like
a lot of teams,
kind of like the nade of Doja on CS.
yeah, kind of like, you know, Black Sabbath started metal, but Metallica popularized it.
Fair makes sense. Good play, but Midi opening things up with a kill. Eeyore trades him, and now that is the A side completely open. The spike will go down towards B. However, Frostmine, nice shot right there with the Sheriff. But that's all he gets. CLZ with a quick double. That's gonna be a triple. And CLZ, man, he is popping today. How many times, how many clutches, and how many awkward kills has he managed to turn in his favor? This is the FENNEL that we were hoping to see here today. I thought after the first map, it was going to be a 2-0, but clearly CLZ and his team have other ideas. Kensai backs his teammate up. Eeyore will go down, and that is 11 points already for FENNEL Esports. My God.
Speaking of gods, they're going to have to start praying right now because, boom, sing your kumbayas, your hallelujahs, because everything's been going up against them. And that fate as well, and faith, has been seemingly turned around here by FENNEL, who are looking to completely dominate this map. Complete dominion and control is what they have. They have honestly been super superior in almost every single kind of round we've seen them in, and with Boom even sometimes having a lead, you know, man advantage 2v1, 3v2, they lose those situations way too often for them to get back in a game like this. And when those opportunities are presented and then subsequently wasted, then you're gonna have a rough time. But a 1-for-1 trade happens, not a direct trade, but a trade nonetheless, and Frostmine finds a second here, at least for the side of Boom, who finally give them something to work with. Eeyore getting that kill was huge for them, okay, and this is looking like maybe a bit of a confidence round, a comeback round for Boom.
So far, BOOMESPORTS have showed us that they can take the fight to FENNEL when they need to, and that's exactly what they want. I like it. I like the aggressive play. I like the early peaks, and this is something that's more, you know, reminiscent of how they played in the earlier map. But however, it's just, again, it could be too little too late. It's a good round. It's a great idea. It catches FENNEL off guard, but, you know, this is the mountain to climb if they want to even consider the idea of coming back into this game.
I'm not sure if this is just a mountain or, you know, a whole valley of itself, because there's a lot to come back into here. But Boom, they have this lifeline, and obviously they have the economic advantage here coming into the 16th round, and this could definitely be them, you know, getting that momentum back. If they can build some economy, make this a clean, almost flawless round, then they should have enough more, you know, economy to buy up in the next few, and that's something they really need. If they go on another eco at this point, they're pretty much done, right? You give up match point. At that point, you're going to need perfect rounds just to stay alive. So
honestly, FENNEL, it doesn't even matter about for the next few rounds. It's not about winning the round. It's about trying to get kills and getting guns out of the hands of Boom. That's all you want to do. Force them at a disadvantage. But shots like that onto Eeyore, wow. Blaze King with a good follow-up right there. Missing from Dariali.
Down A.
Blaze King is good for a triple here. Midi
Last
has the
player
angle.
standing.
Can't hit the shot though. Flips Jadura will get the better of him in this one. And Tensai, only man left standing. Sees the shoulder, can't land the headshot. 4 kills for Blaze King on this anti-eco, and we go to a 5-11. Still a long way to go, but it's a start for Boom.
Tens I? No. Tens you. Yeah. I'm ending that. You can continue.
I'm gonna pretend like I didn't hear that, but
I feel like maybe I'm the one getting some.
I think Paper Thin is rubbing off on you. And
Yeah,
Asarai.
a bit of Asarai too. I miss the man, both of them. So we'll see them in just a bit. But
okay, I
now.
like the Boomer meme train going. We'll keep it going through the rest of this tournament. But
yeah.
Ooh, nice shot right there from Flip Jitter. They did not expect him that close, and he's taking more fights. A little bit too haphazard in that one, sure. But they do manage to get 1 for 1. Doesn't really work out for the defensive side, but Boom will take it any day. They do want to get... Oh, never mind. I take that back. ER just cleaned up Midi right there as Hunter's Fury will come out. And again, it's always for these early Hunter's Furies, but this time Dariali does get taken down by it, so Blaze King has found a lot of value off of that already, bringing it to a 4v2 here. And, you know, going back to what I said earlier, Black and Blue, again, it doesn't really matter if they can win the rounds that much. They really want to just break the economy and force an eco, force an awkward buy, and I think that's when they want to strike the most, but obviously they'll want to win the rounds too.
He's been fishing quite blindly, but in this case, something does bite. The team ace, and that's definitely one that you want to, you know, start this comeback with. Of course, they've won, what, now, 3 rounds in a row? Looking to extend that over into a 4th, and who knows, Elo? Who knows? We've seen some crazy comebacks during Sea Challengers. We've seen some crazy comebacks in Japan and Korea VCT as well, and this could be one of those historical moments, but Boom. They're already up 1-0 in the series, and so they do have some cushion to work with, but will it be enough, really, at the end of things is the question.
Right.
Could be.
You know, and it was on Icebox too, where a lot of these great comebacks happen. I think it's just that Icebox has that propensity to be a map where you can really come back on. And it's showing itself yet again. It's manifesting in front of us that you can make those comebacks on Icebox. I may be speaking prematurely, but it definitely is possible. Whips like that from Diggs. He misses all the plates. He stands still for a second. It's like, oh, guys, I kind of messed up here. Now, trade kill coming up here. Blaze King is able to get onto Dariali. Now, Flips Jadder from up on above will look to rein in with those off shots, and they don't want to challenge him anymore. Instead, they're going to fall back. They're going to go towards B because of all the map control that CLZ has got. He's managed to wiggle his way on towards B site. Frostmind has no idea, but has an inkling that there might be someone here, and that smoke should do the trick.
I think it'd be more apt to say here, as he's on the Viper, he's slithered. Yeah, like a snake. Snake in the grass. Comfy snake. Anyway, speaking of, Flip Jitter, knife to the face here of Mitty, and he finds another one to the chest of Tensai. Double for him already. And really, the lineup game is all that they can play right now because there's no way they're going to win a gunfight, like a straight
last player standing.
Right? Orb up. Here comes this as well. One more bite. But the snake not going to have enough poison to win that one. Flip Jitter, a 4K for him. Get you that money, bro. Get your wallet fat and stacked. And Boom Esports, 11-7. Very convenient for them.
BOOMESPORTS, all right. They're mounting this comeback 4 rounds away. It's 4 rounds. Again, it is possible. And, you know, BOOMESPORTS, they're not a team that is a stranger to comebacks. They've made comebacks happen against, like, Alter Ego before, and other teams in the C region. I think the last time they made a really good comeback was against, dare I say X10? No, I think it might have been Full Sense. Yeah. They haven't, you know, been afraid to play from behind. They're not uncomfortable playing from behind, and it's showing right now. They're not losing their composure. They're taking this round by round, which is exactly what you need to do, and it's working for them.
But will it continue on is the question. I mean, it was successful earlier on, but, you know, at some point, FENNEL, they're going to start to catch on here, and maybe they could start to do something about this wall up to let them cross into the orange and into the tube. Kitchen being cooked here right now as Flip Jitter finds Stand side. Astrid has a wall to deny this, and he just runs right through it. Can potentially stick the defuse, and nobody's there to stop him. He's gonna stick this, actually. He gives it up, but he doesn't even know that he's completely safe here, Cloudburst. And this is a clean round. This is the risk that you run when running that strat, and that's exactly why it can be very dangerous if you don't actually have control of orange. They get locked in there, lockdown comes in, but it's too little, too late. Boom! Make it happen.
Yo, I mean, that strat, dude, like, you can run it once per game. Anything more than that, I think. And especially if a team knows how to deal with it, it's very risky. Like, it's very situational and conditional as to when that is effective. Clearly, they know how to handle it. They took away kitchen control, they took away orange control, and by then you're just completely locked with very little real estate on the map to actually work with. That's exactly what happened. They couldn't even peek. Even if they did have the attacker Killjoy available and used for them, it doesn't matter because they just had enough time to clear that site, clear that entire area. They used the cloud burst and whatever utility they had to make that defuse so much easier for them. And they breezed by that round. They breezed by that retake, one of the easiest retakes of their lives.
You know, Ilu, I was gonna say that it's a map that does kind of have a lot of these big comebacks happen because of the fact that it can be quite one-sided towards the attacking side, but
yeah,
that's not true because the teams that have been quite successful here today, both of these, it was on the defensive side. Boom really struggled on the attack. FL are honestly kind of sharing the same fate here, Fennel. They're really having trouble to get things going on the attacking side, which normally would be the favorite side here on Icebox, but the defense right now, both of these teams seemingly to look at a higher bar than their attack really was, and that's, I think, the story of this game. That
maybe they just both suck on attack.
Yeah, that's. I'm trying to put it in a diplomatic way, man.
I know. I'll be the bad guy. I'll be bad cop. Okay.
I'm good cop in this case.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
And
anyways,
so
bad boys.
Maybe it's like, you know, maybe it's like Black and Blue. You know, maybe it's like Split.
Yeah.
Where you know.
Yeah.
Split is mostly defender-sided, like in other parts of the world, but in SCA and only in SCA, I think, is it turning into an attacking-sided map?
Yeah, it's kind of that maybe recency we've been seeing from that in Flip Jitter. Eeyore, double duelists, finds a pick each, and this is looking like another good round for Boom.
Uh-oh, we're getting into comeback territory. Oh no, I
we're
said,
already in it, bro.
This is what I said, dude. I was like, there's no way they can win this if Fennel wins the pistol. They win the pistol, and somehow Boom are clawing their way back.
You will not kill my ally.
They read the script, guys. They did.
Twitch director. He's written this one to be quite, I guess, dramatic. Oh dear, look at that shock dart coming from him. Lego lost in here. Okay, Tensai finding that one Frostmine on the trade, and Jinx is able to find another suddenly in the 3v5 down to a 3v3.
Okay, but you know, Boom, they've been good on the retakes, but what's a retake when you're at a man disadvantage right now? They also have the Hunter's Fury. This is a potential save call. No, I take that back. Frostmine just tap onto the dome of Tensai here. 1v2 though, and with an op in tow, could decide to save it, but they're fairly low on HP on the Fennel side, so this could be something that really works in his favor, especially with that Phantom in his hands. Now flips Jitter. He's working his way from the back, goes up and sees one. Can't hit the shot. Jinx flicks to his head. Here's match point here for Fennel.
Could have been doable there from Flip Jitter. He had every single ability, both updrafts and cloud bursts, and he had his dash still available too, so definitely could have been a party time moment here coming from Boom, but alas, is not the case. They find two opening picks, but Fennel with a single res just turned the entire thing around, playing from that man disadvantage, no problem. Doesn't matter which hand you're dealt sometimes, it's how you play those cards that does come out in the end. And so, Fennel, match point, looking to go in a split, decider, third map of the series potentially, but they're gonna need one more round to bring us into that.
Yeah. That just one is all that Fennel needs here. I mean, it's been a tough. They've only managed to win a couple for a while now, so I'd still say the comeback is in the books here for Boom. It's not out of the realm of possibility. BOOMESPORTS, however, they have gotten a lot of map control. Look how deep Flip Jitter has actually managed to find him. Easy cut off of rotation, but the Viper's Pit has been deployed to help them get that spike down. Spraying through it here, Frostmine just hoping to get someone, just hoping to get lucky, but no one's availing themselves right now. And Spike will finally be planted. Utility will be thrown. Shock Dart is good from Blaze
Spike
King. It
down,
actually gets the
B.
spike planter down. Dariali's out of the picture. 4v5 here. Now Boom's starting to make an argument. They still have so much going for them, especially because Tensai peeks out, I'd say, a little bit unnecessarily. And they have to deal with this because Boom have them contained. That's the Viper Spit gone, and this is
One
a very
enemy
awkward
remaining.
position for
Spike
FENNEL to
down,
be in. Nice tap from
Team
Jinx, but will it
ace.
matter at all? Absolutely not. As
So embarrassing.
it's gonna be another round picked up here by Boom off a wonderful, patient play of BOOMESPORTS.
And another team ace once again. That's like the second team ace we've had in, what, 3-4 rounds coming in from them. And that's exactly what you kind of want here. It's a tale of the tape, and they've been working as a full, cohesive unit to be able to make this comeback happen, taking things round by round. Don't look too ahead. Don't mistake those trees for the forest, because right now what you gotta deal with is the hill before you get up the mountain of things. So the peak is certainly there, but it's a lot closer than it initially was. And this
out of my
3-round
way.
lead, even though it's at match point, with the economy being low on FENNEL, is a lot more digestible than it was earlier on in the half.
Yeah, you know what else has peaked? Me.
In high school.
In high school. Those were the
sad.
days. The good old days.
Yeah, back when we had a full head of hair and
Less tummy fat.
less tummy fat, yeah, and we could actually run like 5 rounds, no problem.
Eco round again here, and this should be 10-12. I say should be, but I've been cursed all day. Frostmine and Flips Jitter making short work of all the presents here towards A. That's 3v5. This is the round done here.
Yeah.
Happens.
Also, it was back then when, you know, I mean, fast food meals were giving you a bare serving. I swear. It was
You know, you're absolutely right. I swear, people, you know, fast food joints, they used to give more food.
yeah. Like, burgers were bigger, more fries in that thing. Your drinks were definitely bigger, upsized. So,
Yeah, the good old days.
the good old days back when we could...
We are actually turning into boomers now. What is happening?
30 seconds
Guys,
left.
we're not even above 30, so...
That doesn't mean we're Boom Esports fans. We're just boomers. Do we call Boom Esports fans boomers?
Player
Boomers?
standing.
Potentially.
Oh wait, hold on. Okay, I thought they were gonna do it. No,
The boomers make it happen.
the boomers
10 to
make it
12.
happen.
Okay, so back to serious business here, serious stuff. They actually do get the round, of course. You know, we're just messing about here because it was an anti-eco from the Boom Esports side. And FENNEL, they do get the plant, which will help them economically just a bit, get them a bit more, you know, utility on the board. But this is where it all matters. FENNEL, they lose this round, they're not going to be in a great situation economically. They're going to have to kind of force by the final round of regulation, round number 24, but they won't have the full utility, won't have full weapons. And so they don't get this one here. I fully believe we're going to overtime, Elu.
I'm not gonna disagree. I'm scared to comment now because like it's been cursed twice.
Go
I
big
feel
or
like
go home.
somebody's put a reverse Uno card on this game and it's like curse? No curse? Yes curse.
You need a bit of a curse potion. Remove that, you know?
Little
Haste.
Hagsbane.
Hagsbane, yes.
But the aggressive angle doesn't get deterred by that turret. Instead, he doubles down on that aggression, stays, holds the line, and gets a pick off onto midi. It's a very, very big pick off right now here as they now scramble towards A. And my God, the Tensai just been so good on that utility. He finds another kill onto Blaze King, who was just sitting there. And now it's a great round here, a great plant. 4v4 now on the board as time starts to tick away. Frostmine finds Tensai on that lurk. That clears out any possibility that somebody could be coming from behind them in this 3v4.
That was huge for them to find. They've got 3 ultimates pull up here. Blade Storm has already been used, and so now has the res 5v3 to secure the round, but Jinx has a good position to maybe try and cause some chaos. Here comes Flip Jitter. Pick off from him
One
on the Jinx,
enemy
but
remaining.
they're still gonna have to deal with their reality, and that they do. CLZ, last one left alive from the screens, will not continue to watch and look on further as Boom bring to the final round of regulation. We're going to round number 24.
Oh, was that important?
You know what? You know what I think kind of armor Boom Esports is buying at the start of the round?
Plot armor.
Plot armor. Because they're looking pretty good, man. I think it was, what was the score right after halftime? It was like
9-3.
9-3, and then it turned into like 11-3, right? And then at that
like
point
that.
we're just like, yeah, I think
Let's
it was
look at this.
11-3, and it's like,
Oh,
this is
no,
way.
it was 10-2. Look at that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Unless we're doing math wrong.
Unless we're doing math wrong. Yeah, it was 10-2. They went up 10-4, then 11-4. Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
there we
so-
go. Thank you, observer. Okay, Viper Spit deployed early towards A, but it doesn't matter. They're going towards B anyway. That was the plan from the beginning. Psych. Now they head on over towards that B site. They have one person holding flank, and that's CLZ, just to cut him off here. As now, BOOMESPORTS, they're looking to hold this operator on Flip Jitter. He's been hitting a lot of shots. He's had his ultimate up like almost every other round at this point here. So he's on a tear. And when Flip Jitter like starts hitting shots, man, he is so hard to stop. And case in point right now, I'd be very afraid of dealing with Flip Jitter if I were FENNEL.
I mean, no matter who I am, I'd still be very, very aware against that, because Flip Jitter, we know that this man can turn things up. As we said earlier on map number 1, you know, he stepped into some huge shoes of a Dern King here on Boom, but he's been performing to the top level that we expect from him. Hunter Spear is going to find potentially a kill. No, does tag him up quite a bit. Mitty taking a lot of that damage, but luckily for them, their reality is still alive on the stage to get that, well, heal, to get that health back up for them. 30 seconds left on the clock. They have to go for a plant sometime soon. Here comes the lockdown, but it's not really going to force the players out of Snowman. They can continue to anchor this down. And on the peak here, Tensai will be found by Asterisk. The wall is down, and Mitty will be able to find the pick off in the 2v4. They have to stick this at this point. There's no more opportunities. And Blaze King setting them on fire. Mitty goes down. We're going into overtime as Boom have made the comeback happen.
Oh man, FENNEL, they've gotta be heartbroken right now. They are a round away, but for so many rounds, it just completely eluded them. You know, Boom, we say they're slow starters as a team, but this slow of a start, man, they're like a diesel engine right now. They have gotten things going, but all right, it's okay. The defensive sides, they haven't really been the best right here. Sorry, the attacking sides haven't exactly been the best. And now Boom might be on a little bit more of a struggle, but if they can win this attacking side in the context of this game, if they can win this attacking side, it's going to be a massive, massive blow to the momentum of FENNEL, which is already pretty much shot at the moment.
You know, from the many times we've seen Boom here in C Challengers and now here in LCQ, we know that they do take quite a bit to start up, but, you know, just like my CPU temps, they get hotter as time progresses. So, yeah, it's not always a good thing, but sometimes it can definitely help out when it matters the most.
No charges left.
Jinx here, opening shot from him, will be forced to pull back because of that Aldro. Nicely done from Boom. And now they have some control of B long, but will it be enough to be able to really flush Jinx out of this corner? Perfect wall, but he does see on the edge of yellow there.
Oh, he
Get
falls.
some information, but he falls down.
Still safe. Could have been dangerous had anyone spotted him dropping from that angle, but no, none of the white on the other side. Now, op shots coming from Flips Jitter, and I'm happy to see him on this off. Naked up or not, he's been hitting his shots here. It's a little bit of a gamble, but in overtime, a gamble might just exactly be what you need. This plant, very much dangerous. There's 3 people waiting here on the other side of it just to contest it. Asterisk is looking to get this down. They can't melt the wall fast enough. They can't deny the plant. So they will have to go for a full 5v5 retake. Look at this flank here. Blaze. He's coming up all the way from mid. They're aware that it's a possibility, but the timing could maybe not work in his favor. Jinx is able to get that kill and flips Jitter, though. That's massive, as the operator does drop here. Slow Orb slows him down, but FENNEL yet again find a massive lead here. Only one person, and that's the flank. Blaze, too little, too late. As it's just going to be a diffuse straight up for them. Can't even get close to it, and it is going to be FENNEL on advantage here in that point.
Great retake from FENNEL, but I do think it was kind of a misplay there coming in from the side of Boom. How was Jinx able to just peek out there so wide from the wall without getting retraded immediately from yellow? Nobody even peeking yellow. I know that it was slow orbed on the side of yellow, but it wasn't deep enough to really hamper that peek, and definitely could have been something that Boom could have capitalized on. You can see that the mere fact that there was lots of presence from FENNEL kind of scared that yellow player from the side of Boom to actually peek out and do his job at that point. So misplay a bit from Boom, but good capitalization on that from FENNEL here, as now they are on the attack and they can potentially end the game right here, right now, and bring us to map number 3.
You know, map number 3, I'm hoping, dude. I'm high on this copium right here. It's just, I want to see it happen, dude. Like, we all want that map number 3. I think we all thought it would be a close game. I just don't think it would have been like this close, that it would go to overtime with this ridiculous comeback of a scoreline. And I know on Icebox, it's, you know, it's known to happen. It's been known to happen, rather. just the way that this is happening, you would really think that BOOMESPORTS has some sort of magical plot armor.
They do at this point. I mean,
at this point, yeah. Like the last time that they played, you know, I think it's some good karma from when they let Alter Ego play at their boot camp.
It probably is, right? You do a good deed, it comes back around.
Yeah.
Karma works both ways, though. So
They
Jinx.
are, however, heading onto that A side as we will look to get that spike down. Eeyore here to deny, here to take us into another round of overtime. The flank coming into fruition as Midi is able to get the catch off onto Eeyore. Flips Jadur's
30
ready for the
seconds
punish,
left.
awaiting him from all the way towards that B side. Now they can't decide where to go. It's back towards A that they do end up running because they don't want to deal with Flip Jadur and his op. Fortunately for them, Flip Jadur doesn't cut them off on that rotation as he's watching that rotation towards mid. They are now going back towards that A side. 3v3 as a spike will go down. 14 seconds left, and I think they have enough time to get it down.
They can get this plant down, but you can see here that the defense is right at the cusp to deny that. Frostmine finding two. There isn't much time left. 4 seconds. No plant can happen. They're going to have to find the kills here to be able to get this round, but boom! They stay alive. Asterisk gets the kill. We're moving into second overtime as Boom somehow edges it out.
Overtime.
We're continuing on. The battle continues. No one going home just yet.
I really like the mid-round response there from Boom. Dude. What they did, flipped Jadur. He was ready for Midi to come out on towards mid. Knew that there was a possibility someone was lurking because they have been sending lurks down towards that mid area. He was ready for it, and in fact, after that, he goes and checks down towards mid itself, just giving a little bit more assurance that nobody is rotating even further. They do get onto the A site. But BOOMESPORTS, they were so ready for anybody trying to push their way onto the site. Now Jinx is trying to shake things up. He's going for an aggressive peek here towards A, spotting nobody. The timing didn't go his way. Aldrone has to be dealt with by his teammate. And he's going to go for another kickoff here. Spots one, dashes out, doesn't get the shot.
Okay. Let's get that information, but cannot land the shot the second time around. Eeyore going to punish him for that, and boom! They completely exploded here all over this A site. Nothing much that they can do as the double Sentinels are the only last ones left remaining to be able to try and somehow clutch around, but Eeyore will say no to that. Go to sleep. Mitty taken out. It's all on the Deryali. 1v4 for him in double overtime. He's been put in this situation time and time again, but not with these stakes as Eeyore cuts him up, serves him on a platter, and gets a triple kill at the end as Boom, once again, now this time in overtime, are looking to end the series and take it 2-0.
Wow, that's a big win here. They have been struggling on that attack for a minute. BOOMESPORTS, now they finally have the upper hand. They have the edge over FENNEL, and what seems to have been just evading them this whole game, they finally have found it. They've broken FENNEL's defense after what feels to be an eternity. And now in double overtime, they have a chance to take us into a very, very convincing 2-0.
I mean, map number 2 is pretty close here in Icebox, so I'm not sure if I'm going to say it's very convincing, but honestly, it does look pretty good here from Boom. FL, though, FENNEL. Final opportunity for them. Their attacking side has been kind of lackluster for the most part, and they're going to really have to turn things up a notch because this could mean them going down into the lower bracket for their first game. It's not a good prospect for any team. And for FENNEL, barely got by here on the default. That's not going to be one they're going to look forward to, but Jinx will able to find one, but the quick trade off here from Blaze, playing in that corner. They now know where he is. They do not have the ability to talk it out just as of the moment. The peek comes in here, but the quick trade coming from Asterisk on there. Yali brings it to a 3v3 Elu. Spike down. They have an opportunity here, and Mitty finds him an opening.
2v3 now. Frostmine and Asterisk, the only players left on Boom. They do not want to go to another overtime. They do not want to give another chance to FENNEL. They've already taken the hardest part, the previous round, the attacking side, but they might lose it. No, Asterisk right there to bring it back with 2 big kills. He gets a triple, taking us to a 1v1. Now it's all up to Tensai and onto Frostmine as they are now left
30
here.
30 seconds left.
In a 1v1 battle of the big brains right here. Controller versus Initiator. Again, Japan versus Indonesia here as we find ourselves on the 28th round. Frostmine just playing passively, and I think he's just gonna let him plant. Just let him plant, get the information on where he is, and on the other side, Tensai, he's
10
pressured
seconds
for time.
left.
He needs to go for this plant, otherwise he is in a load of trouble. So he's gonna be creeping up from above, but the timing is not there. He misses the shot, but Tensai, he's gonna miss as well, and somehow BOOMESPORTS have taken it, taking us 2-0. They go ahead and they move through, going up against New Turn next in the next round here at the APAC LCQ.
Write it down, get it on the document because paper thin.